Okay, Kamala Harris and inflation. Now, we've talked about some of her plans for increased government spending and how much further it's going to put us into debt, and the fact that we're going to have to print more money. I remind everybody, she played a really important part. Again, she's vice president of the United States. She's going to do what the president said. Again, the power of the vice president is what? If there's a tie in the Senate, you break the tie. And she broke the tie twice. And American Rescue Plan, Inflation Reduction Act. As it turns out, we've done the numbers here. Got some economists done the numbers here in regards to all of this government spending. Those two spending packages translated to 6% higher consumer prices in our economy, which is that's pretty high inflation, don't you think? But the interesting thing about Kamala Harris is that as far as her economic policies are concerned, she didn't really think too deeply about them. When she was a senator, this back in 2020, she introduced the Monthly Economic Crisis Support Act. This would have paid basically everybody in the United States $2,000 a month until 3 months after the pandemic emergency's official end. Just play with the calculator. Think about those numbers. $2,000 a month per resident. That, again, that passed. Patently absurd, ridiculous. Sounds good. Again, she should have thrown free beer in with it as well. That would have gone through August of 2023, and it would have cost $15 trillion. Now, if you're using the same numbers that the economists came up with in regards to inflation from Biden's packages, inflation would have been higher than 50% at that point in time. Do you understand, people? I wish I can get this across. I really do. Sometimes I'll go and they'll talk about economic policies, Wall Street Journal, and various different places, or even sometimes even on X or whatnot, and people be like, "I don't understand. She's just trying to give people what they want." I've got 3 kids. They're not kids anymore. But do I give my kids everything that they want? Are you kidding me? Well, these are policies that Americans want, but they're not feasible, and they have to be paid for. The money has to come from somewhere. And I mentioned Milton Friedman this past week. The return of Milton Friedman is becoming popular once again. You're either going to be paying for it in higher taxes, or you're going to be paying for it with inflation, because you have to print more money. Now, they'll say, "Well, raise taxes. They're rich people, corporations." There's not enough. Do you understand Do you understand how much money $12 trillion is? Have you actually even thought about that? No. Most people haven't. And again, this is why it's easy. You just promise BS. You're not getting, again, this is why policies are important. All right. You have to go over some of these policies. And even, like I said, this past week, Washington Post, for crying out loud, it's like, what are you talking about? This is not even feasible, not doable. Again, this is more about getting elected. And I really do believe that. I think many of her ideas and policies are just there to get her into that position of power, because that's what it's all about. It's say anything. Say anything as long as you win. Doesn't matter. Most of these things will never see the light of day because they're patently absurd. Anyway, Kamala Harris, again, inflation. Yeah, you follow her policies. People, get used to it. Again, look to Argentina, look to countries that have done this. Okay. It doesn't work. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.